want to take in 2026 this program to the next level. Right now, I could tell you that in Panama, we're doing on average about 25 qualified investor visas a month. And our goal is to make it 150 a month. We made an agreement with Merck to promote Panama as a destination for qualified investors. Most of our qualified investors in the last year are coming from North America, they're the US or Panama. Under the presidency of President Molino, he has made a priority for him to catch back on that big delay, that backlog that we had of files regarding naturalization. Through the Qualified Investor Program, the only requirement that you have is you have to be in Panama once every 2 years during the 5 years of your residency.
And they will qualify for citizenship.
That qualifies you for citizenship. Hello, I'm Eduardo Arango. I'm the Vice Minister of Internal Commerce of the Republic of Panama. And I'm here to tell you today why Panama is the most attractive place for you to get your permanent residency. We have a great qualified investors program, but most of all, we have one of the best countries in the world. I'm here to tell you why.
What has changed about the Qualified Investor Visa program?
Well, the Qualified Investor Program started in 2020. I think it was a great idea to get it done, to start, but it never really got traction. It never got promoted well. So even though it's a great program, and I would say one of the best in the world, people don't know about it much. So what we have done in this administration is it's make it our goal to put it out there, to make it known, to have people understand what Panama is all about, what its qualified investor program is all about, and we're also working on making it even better than what it was when we first got in here.
Well, what is the Qualified Investor Visa program? What are some minute details, and why is it attractive to foreign investors? Why should they invest in Panama?
Okay, first of all, as a program, it has the characteristics of the best programs, similar to the best programs in the world. I would say one of the most attractive characteristics is that with a $300,000 real estate investment, you can get your permanent residency in less than 60 days. Usually takes between 30 and 45 days. And after that, once you're a resident for 5 years, you can aspire to be a national Panamanian and get your naturalization process done and get a Panamanian passport. So that's one of the key factors. Then as a program, then if you look into Panama as a country, then we have many things that make Panama a very appealing place to be in and to invest at. Our dollarized economy, it's a very safe country. Our geographical position, our connectivity with the whole world. I mean, we're the hub of the Americas. You can fly to Panama directly from pretty much any major city in the northern hemisphere and in South America. So I mean, Panama, it's kind of the right place to be at this moment.
Great. The 30 to 60 days for approval in the Qualified Investor Visa program would make it one of the fastest programs in the world, with comparable programs, golden visas, and your residency by investments. Can you tell us a little bit about how the process works for someone to invest in, let's say, real estate? I know there are some other options, so you can tell us a little bit about that. But they invest, and the 30 to 60 day process, and then they get their permanent residency permit. Can you expand on that a little bit and what their options are in terms of investment in Panama?
Well, the qualified investor has three options of investment. Being the most popular, the real estate investment, that's why we started talking about that one. But we also have an option where you can invest $500,000 in the stock market on a Panamanian brokerage firm, or you can invest $750,000 in a time deposit in a Panamanian bank. So those are other two options that an investor could use to gain the residency in Panama. And yes, it's one of the fastest in the world. We have a dedicated office of immigration here at the ministry just to handle qualified investor. So that's why it's a lot faster than the normal process will be. But we're trying to make it even better.
Is this requirement to invest in property at the threshold of US $300,000, as it pertains to your priorities and your department of the government? Does that need to be new property? Does that need to be adding to the housing supply in Panama? Or can it just be any property? Do you expect that?
Well, the investment can be in land, it can be in property, and we're trying to make that property new property. The whole idea behind the qualified investor program is to create progress in the economy, in the country. And the way you create that progress is by creating jobs. And to create jobs, we need to build stuff. We need to build apartments. So we're trying to focus our qualified investors program into a program that will generate those jobs. Therefore, we're trying to push towards it be more and more focused to new apartments, skilled brothers.
In 2020, the program was launched, and since then, the approval rates for the qualified investor visa have not dipped below 96%, which is really high compared to some other programs. This is great for investors, seemingly. Is there a pre-screening process to avoid maybe some issues in that approval process? What is that process like? What is the due diligence like from the Panamanian government?
Yeah. Well, you mentioned you have to do the investment as part of your application, and in order for you to do the investment, you have to send the money to Panama. In order for you to send the money to Panama, you're going to go, just because of that, you're going to go through a very detailed screening process, a very strong due diligence process, because Panama has one of the world's strongest banking systems, but it's also one of the most and best regulated banking systems in the world. So in order for you to send funds to Panama, we're going to make sure that we know where those funds come from, that they come from a legal source, that the person who is sending them has no issues with the law. So by the time you apply, you have already been put through a screening process. That's why the acceptance percentage is so high.
Do you have a number or rough estimate for what the approval numbers or at least percentage growth will be in 2025?
2025 is going to be pretty similar to what we have done in previous years, but we do have very ambitious goals for the future. We want to take in 2026 this program to the next level. Right now, I could tell you that in Panama, we're doing on average about 25 qualified investor visas a month. And our goal is to make it 150 a month. We have partnered up with very strong companies in the industry. We're working very diligently to put the name of the program and of Panama out there. And based on the acceptance and the opinions of the most knowledgeable people in the industry, I'm really sure that we're going to be able to accomplish the goals that we're setting forward for us.
You're starting to promote this program a lot more. You're working with investment migration firms, and who else? There's a B2B side, there's a B2B component to this promotion, and then there's the B2C side, the direct to investors marketing angle that you could take. Mm-hmm. What are we doing here? Well, who are you promoting with in the B2B side, and how are you reaching investors directly as well?
First of all, our program is open to everyone. We work with every law firm in Panama, which we have a lot. I mean, the legal system in Panama, legal offices in Panama is one of the biggest and most popular in the world. And we work with every law firm in the country. Second, we work with every company that promotes qualified investor visas around the world. But most importantly, we have made a commitment as a government with a company that is one of the biggest ones in the industry, which is the American Group, and we made an agreement with American to promote Panama as a destination for qualified investors. Um, Regarding that, we are taking advantage of the reach that American has, the experience that American has in order to help us promote the program. And then, in my personal opinion, American is one of the best partners we could have found because they work already with all these other agents and all these other firms around the world. So uh, it's kind of like by working with them, we're working with everyone.
Where are investors coming from? If we're getting about 25 qualified investor applicants per month as of right now, we want to get to 150. Where are these investors coming from?
Okay, let me give you a little bit of history on that. Um, going back to 2020. If we go back all the way to the beginnings of the program, our qualified investors mostly, if you look at the numbers, mostly come from Colombia. There's a good reason for that. I mean, Colombia is right next to us. We're very familiar with Panama. I think Colombians really like Panama, so we like them too. And with the changes in government and the economic situations in Colombia, a lot of people decided to come and get a residency program established in Panama, their permanent residency. But in the last year or so, we have started to see changes to that trend. Colombia has gone down to probably the third place, and most of our qualified investors in the last year are coming from North America, either the U.S. or Panama.
So Americans, Canadians have another option when investing in Panama called the Friendly Nations Visa. Can you tell us a little bit about that program and also how it differs from the Qualified Investor Visa program?
Well, it's the main difference would be the speed where you get the residence. Because if you go through the Friendly Nations program, it's going to take you 2 years to get your permanent residency. Through the qualified investor, as I said at the beginning of the interview, you're going to get it in 30 days, 45 days. So pretty much time is the main issue there. And one of the reasons that I think it's the most important in why North Americans are the ones that are coming to Panama now, it's because it's so familiar to Panama. We're the number one ally of the U.S. Commercial. And we've had a very, very good relationship for more than 100 years. So for an American, when you talk about Panama, it's very familiar. And then we use the dollar, which is the same currency that we have in the U.S. And it's pretty much easy. It's an easy process to come and get a residency for them.
If you're getting 150 qualified investor visa approvals per month, where are they coming from? Right now, we talked a lot about United States, Canada, Colombia. Where are we collecting these extra 125?
We see great potential at the moment in North America, the U.S. and Canada. I think there's great potential there because, as I said at the beginning, it's a country that is very familiar with Panama. So close. We have direct flights to every major city in the U.S. and Canada. So we want to go there. We're also looking into Europe and Asia. Asia is an area of the world that for us as a program is untapped. I think it's only like 5 or 6% of our program right now. So there's a big market there that we can go and look into and try to bring to Panama as qualified investors. Panama has always been a destination, but it's always been a destination for tourists. That's what we have been known for a long time. Our beaches, our mountain, our coffee, the Panama Canal. That's what people come down here to see. But now, in the most recent times, we're turning into a destination for investment through the Qualified Investor Program. But only not that. We're also trying to bring foreign investment into all kinds of industries, pharmaceutical. We're trying to bring investment to the logistics sector. So Panama, Panama is a destination it's always been, but now for different reasons.
So regarding citizenship in Panama, which a lot of investor migrants are particularly interested in when it comes to investing in a new country, not only are we going to get a residence permit as in exchange for this investment I'm making in this country, but also in the long run, depending on the physical presence, all that kind of stuff, am I going to get citizenship in this country? It's very important to investor migrants. Tell us about naturalization in Panama. As we understand it at IMI, in the last decade or so, maybe even 20 years, it was very difficult for people to naturalize the citizens of Panama.
Mm-hmm.
Is that changing? Has that changed already?
Well, it is changing. It is changing because under the presidency of President Molino, he has made a priority for him to catch back on that big delay, that backlog that we had of files regarding naturalization. For many governments, as you said, several previous administrations, for some reason, which I don't understand, they were just not signing the naturalization documents, and very responsibly, but President Molino has taken the necessary steps to start signing those documents. I mean, the backlog was very big, and he's trying to get those old documents signed and then get the new ones done as they come in, so we don't keep on adding to that backlog. But yes, in this administration, we're trying to get that huge delay that we have had in the past reduced.
Okay. It's very unique in that the president approves naturalizations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of any other countries where that takes place. Can you tell us a little bit about that process and how maybe someone can make sure that they are approved for naturalization?
Well, yeah, it is very unique, and that's proof that we take our citizenship very, very seriously. I mean, we take it to the highest authority in the country, which is the president of Panama, to sign that document. So just by that, you can tell how important it is for us to give the Panamanian nationality to someone.
So, as let's say I'm an American citizen, I come to Panama through the qualified investor visa. Tell me about how I can naturalize as a citizen in Canada.
Well, the process is very transparent. The process is once you get your residency, after 5 years, you can apply for naturalization. As I said, we're trying to once you apply, make that process as short and as fast tracked as possible. But it takes some time, because once you have your 5 years of residency, then you have to again go back to the due diligence. They have to, once you apply to a naturalization, they have to look into what you have done in the past 5 years. Have you complied with every step of the residency program? Has anything changed in your criminal records or anything before you get that naturalization? Well, the process is fairly straightforward. Through the Qualified Investor Program, the only requirement that you have is you have to be in Panama once every 2 years during the 5 years of your residency.
And they will qualify for citizenship.
That qualifies you for citizenship. With the Friendly Nations visa, your requirement would be having a physical residency in Panama for 2 years. So you would have to have an actual residency in Panama for 2 years before you can apply for citizenship. What we want to do is we want to protect the program as much as possible. You know, in Panama we have presidential periods of 5 years, and when governments change, sometimes rules change. So one of the things that we are trying to accomplish now, and the changes that we're trying to make to the program to make it even better, is to have some kind of certainty that once you apply to the program under a certain set of rules, those rules will be respected no matter which government is in power at the moment. So we're working on that right now. We're working on trying to to make it even more secure than what it is right now for the investor.
So this qualified investor visa program stands to, especially as you're promoting it, garner a lot of market interest, a lot of investor interest, a lot of demand from all around the world, not just the countries that we talk about today, but from all around the world. Are there certain programs, one, that you might want to emulate that have done a really good job with getting foreign direct investment in their own country, and two, that you kind of seek competition with that qualified investor visa program? So emulation are the programs that you want to emulate, and two, are there programs that you want to compete with and that you will compete with?
Definitely. I mean, there are a few very successful programs out there, and there are ones that we would like to emulate, as you said. And probably if I have to mention one of them, I'll say Portugal. Portugal is a country that was very successful in with their qualified investors program. They've done a great job of bringing people into their country through this program, and by doing that, making their economy grow exponential. And that's really our main motivation for this program. We want to get those investors to come to Panama to activate our economy, to grow our economy, to create jobs. That's what
Panama has a territorial tax system. What does that mean for qualifying investors? Yes, I'd love to talk about that, who maybe don't even need to spend more than a day every 2 years in the country, but also for those who want to relocate and make Panama their home. What does this territorial tax system mean to them?
Well, what it means is that you won't get taxed in Panama as a resident for any income that you make outside of Panama. So you can be a full-time resident, a permanent resident of Panama, come to Panama once every 2 years. You can come to Panama every year, and you will not be taxed in Panama for any income that you generate outside. What we want to do is make it interesting for you as an investor to come to Panama, to buy property in Panama, and therefore, like I said before, create jobs, create economic movement. But then also, we're so confident that we have one of the best countries in the world that we know that when you come to Panama as a qualified investor for one time every 2 years, you're going to want to come to Panama a lot more. And you're probably going to use your property more and spend money in Panama. So that's our incentive. That's our incentive for bringing.
You mentioned that you want to get to 150 qualified investor visa approvals by when? Per month. By when? And how are you going to do that? You mentioned partnerships. You mentioned direct to investor promotion. But what is the game plan to promote Canada as a destination for investor migrants?
Okay. First of all, we're working on the program to make it even better. I mean, we know we have a great qualified investors program, but after seeing what other countries offer and other countries have, we're trying to get the best of all those programs and put it into ours to make it, if not the best in the world, one of the top 3 in the world for qualified investors. Then after that, we're going to work very hard on putting it out there and having people know about Panama, understand their qualified investors program. And the only way to do that is through interviews like this with companies like IMI, who everybody respects, and everybody when you say something about a qualified investors program, everybody listens. But also going to events. We have a very important tour of countries that we want to travel to. We want to go out there and tell everybody about the advantages of Panama as a country and as a program.